I remember how angry I was as a young black male. I was a young boy who was abandoned by his father. As a result of the absence of my father, I was drafted into a street gang when I was 12. I had a gun in my hand when I was 13, a .38 revolver that was given to me by a gang to murder another teenager. It's about the absence of a father, because my mother was working 21-day stints as a registered nurse, and she could not monitor and provide the authority and the discipline. Black America is in the midst of a profound crisis of moral and cultural authority, precisely because a vision of what a family should be has been lost.
For many years, I was addicted to drugs. She was addicted to drugs. And I ended up in jail and finally realized that there's a better way to live. And I got into recovery, and I met my wife coming to do one of my commitments. And that was almost 20 years ago. God bless this food that we're about to eat. God give thanks to all the sick and suffering, and bless our family and our friends. Amen.
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 Bruce and Delisha are really a beautiful couple. The way in which they complement each other, the joy that they have in each other's company and in being married, and what a difference being married has made in their lives, and the way in which they have really together taken each other's children to make a strong family.
He did become like a father to my children. They see him as dad because he's been there as dad. He does everything with them as dad. He's just a really good dad. He really is.
Just seeing them together just shows me that I'm going to not let anyone treat me disrespectfully. Like, my parents are the one reason why I really feel as though I deserve someone who's going to treat me with respect. Almost all of my friends' families have gotten divorced. When I first met their parents, they seemed like they were so much in love, and they lost it.
The beauty of Bruce and Delisha is that it's real. It's not some idealized nonsense. They come out of the real world and not Pleasantville. In fact, there are kids from all over the neighborhood that are virtually being adopted by Bruce and Delisha because the children know what it's supposed to be. It's almost intuitively obvious to them, and they just want to be blessed.
It was really challenged 2 years ago. I wasn't working due to a mishap, and my wife's hand was broke. There was no money coming in, nothing. During that time is when the marriage became stronger than I ever thought it would be.
Marriage thrives when the two come together through hardship. Hardship does not mean hopeless hardship. It is a project. That hardship is something that you work on it to now get the sweetness that is hidden inside. So when I met my husband, and after the initial excitement, the chemistry and everything, I started seeing things that, might be a challenge. So I ran to my mom and said, this is what I noticed. I'm not sure I'm going to cope with it. My mom said, God has put hidden sweetness in the difficulty. So when you go through the difficulty, you now unravel the sweetness and you enjoy it.
What often happens is that because they're properly married, they have the grace, to sustain and go through those periods of trials, because sorrow is shared and joy is multiplied. This is what often happens where you have lots of children and you have a couple united. You're never alone, you're never isolated in your trials, in your problems, because, the rest of the family, they're there to share with you. They're there to go through those periods with you.
When I fall short, she's right there to pick me up, even though sometimes I don't want to be picked up. But I love her so deep that what she says means so much. The strength that she was giving me was the strength of not giving up.
No matter what. No matter what. I don't care if I'm right. I don't care if he's right. I don't care if he's wrong. I don't care. We have each other's back.
She pulled me out of hell.
Love and security are, for me, something very close together. We are a Lebanese couple, so we grew up in the war. When you grow up in difficult times and dangerous country, feel that the life is not long enough. Maybe you can die tomorrow or after tomorrow, so you need to love somebody. He was a big security, and he's still a big security for me. J'ai besoin de sa présence. I need his presence always, and I trust him without limits.
The notion of commitment within love is crucial and capital. If you don't have this, if you are not ready to give yourself freely and endlessly to the other, and to go through all the challenges of marriage, then it won't work. And the couple will fall apart, the family will fall apart, the society will fall apart. Family is the foundation of all morality.
I love my wife, but marriage is tough. It's a challenge, but it's also beautiful. It's also, it's also why I get all my love. I recently became a father, and my little baby boy, he changed who I am and bonded our family in a way that is hard to describe. I'd do anything for that kid. There's nothing I wouldn't do for him.
Part of how a woman blesses a man is that she forces the male to become a man. Because you must be responsible, you gotta be accountable, right? And she brings out your best when you've got a good woman.
I think families are truly functional, that they produce good outcomes.
I love my dad. I love my mom. When I am faced with a challenge, I feel extremely well equipped. I feel like I can overcome, and I think it's my mom and dad that really instilled that in me.
En el matrimonio, pues para nosotros tener más que nada amor, los dos, tanto como yo para ella, y más que nada amor en los hijos que Dios nos regala también. Entonces ese don es un don, porque Pues sí, nos ha enseñado más que nada a convivir con ellos en todos los momentos, en las buenas y en las malas, porque pues, la mera verdad nosotros pues a veces pues no los tenemos casi seguido. Ahorita que ya están grandes, a veces los tenemos así que pues fuera, pero sí en nuestro corazón, en nuestra mente siempre están. Y pues en el momento que están con nosotros, pues más que nada los tratamos de compartir con ellos, porque lo poquito que darles ese cariño.
It's unbelievable the power that marriage and the complementary union can have for transforming people's lives.
It's like a battery that has a positive and a negative charge. And that's kind of the way, a father and a mother balance each other out. It's like banging two rocks together. There's a spark. That's why that's the only way that you can make life. It's like you gotta bring those two opposites together and then you get a spark. You can start a fire. And that fire is that life that burns in that kid.
Love.